Hey, you, friends, family, and strangers. My name's Doug and stuff. Today, we are officially stuck in limbo. That's right. I can't go anywhere with you today and entertain you and titillate your senses. I don't have that ability because I am stuck right here, waiting to figure out what is to become of the next chapter of my life. As you know, I have been on a real estate, moving, and apartment saga live story unfeathering right before your eyes, and it has been a stressful roller coaster of dog poo, but we're doing it. What's going on right now is this. My house is empty. I'm here at the Roach Coach, living the dream at the motel. I received an email this morning saying that my application for the new apartment, don't get excited yet. Let me tell you, the email said my application at the new apartment was approved, which I thought was a good thing. So I called her up to see what we do next. And she said, well, you have a mortgage, so your income will not cover the mortgage and the apartment. And I said, well, I'm selling my house. I'm not going to have that mortgage. Remember we talked about that? She goes, yeah, but basically what it means is because your credit is fucked in half and your income cannot be verified to cover this place, you're going to have to pay the full thing up front, which I told her I could do once I sell my place. And I said, well, I'll have the money for that if my house sells, but there appears to be a hiccup with that every 5 minutes. And she goes, yeah, we'll hold it for you for a couple weeks, and if you can get all that money gathered up to cover the whole lease amount in one fucking kit, cat, and caboodle, you got you a place. The good news is, me breaking that lease like 40 days ago did not come up in the investigation. So I said, you know what, go ahead and conduct a welcome letter, get me an account, give me access to said account, my account, through you guys. And what I'll do is here, as soon as my house sells, I'll put the money on it. The money that'll cover the whole thing. And then we'll go ahead and get some keys. She said, okay, sounds good. Yeah. So, I kind of have an apartment for now. I have a couple weeks to get my house sold. If it sells, great. If it doesn't, then I buy it again, essentially, because I'll just move back up into that bitch and pay another mortgage payment and try to continue to sell it, I guess. I don't know, but it's weird because wouldn't you want a new place to live prior to selling that bitch? But at these apartments, if you're still attached to a mortgage, they don't want nothing to do with you. They think you're going to fucking default. My whole life's been a big fucking default, okay? So, I told you already last night, the night before, about the wishy-washy back and forth real estate stuff. Apparently, the new late-breaking discovery is this morning. Apparently, according to what I think my realtor is telling me in his text messages, apparently, my fucking potential buyer, the OG original potential buyer, is now back on track. Let me do that again. See how the train went right by? Ooh, scared you, didn't it? Ah, shit! You thought it was going to hit you, didn't you? Anyways, but I thought you said he was going to have to back out and wouldn't have the money, and I don't know if he's saying that just because technically the house is in contract until Monday still. I'm like, but I said clearly, I said, do you think we can get this place sold like prior to the fucking 10th or whatever? And he said, yeah, the current buyer is still on track for the 4th. Huh? Thought you said he backed out. Thought you said he was done. I know technically on paper he has until that date, but Then he goes, well, I'll call you tomorrow. I'm on vacation. Motherfucker, you need to not be on vacation until my ass can go on vacation. Just kidding. Whatever. So we'll see. So basically, I got a couple more days here at the Roach Coach Modal, and it looks like I will just be here, I guess. I don't know. I don't really want to get more days onto here because I'm afraid like I'll need every dime I can come up with to try to get this damn department. So the good news about if I can pull this off, I'll have the apartment for a full year. So I can use more of my income to negate some of the lack of income in June that I'll have with my job. And because in June we are taking a hiatus for about a month, so that'll be stressful. And if something were to happen, I have the whole year. I have housing for a year. If you can pull this off, you can get yourself a cushy ass little place to stay for a year. Life's expensive, ain't it? Anyways, you might just want to skip this one because guess what we're doing today? Nothing. That exciting? But I'll see what I can do to make it fun. Worst case scenario, this video will flow right into tomorrow's escapades, I guess. We could swing it that way too. You never know. Hey, what are you gonna do? You're a loser. Just sitting here doing some video stuff in this depressing ass motel room. I feel like I am in jail, just waiting for the judge to decide when my date is that I can either go to prison or to freedom. I told the chick at the apartments to go ahead and fire off her welcome letter, get my account set up so I could access my account and put some money on it. And that's going to be a few thousand, several few thousands in order to get keys, because I have to pay for the whole thing up front because I'm attached to a mortgage and my credit's dog shite, so I can't really verify financial coverage of this monthly thing. So I have to just cover it all in one shot, the whole lease. So, shit. The only way that can happen is if I sell my house. As it stands right now, that will happen in 7 days from now. So because of this new stuff, I moved out 7 days early. I have this motel for 3 more nights as of this moment, instead of spending any more money. I'm actually afraid to spend a dime right now until I can get my housing secured, my next housing secured. After this, my time here is done at this motel. I'll probably, as of right now, I will set up camp back at the house. So it was my dream, as you saw with your own eyes. It was my dream, my hope, to step off the property for the last time, and that still might be the case. I still may just not show back up. I mean, all it is right now is just a place that I'm legally allowed to be without interruption, and I can sleep there and keep the door locked there. So better, it beats sleeping in the van outside of work, you know what I'm saying? There's like a 50-50 chance I'll just add more days onto this room. But I really need this damn house to sell. And just not knowing exactly the amount of money I'll walk with, the exact specific amount once it's done, It's stressful because I just want to make sure the amount matches up with what I need to get my place. Once I get my keys, then I can develop a new plan from there. So, what to do in the meantime? The only thing I can really think to do in the meantime is just to wait. There's a message that came in, as I explained, that says the seller is back on track, but at the same time, it seems vague. So I guess I'll get on a phone call with my realtor later today, potentially, or tomorrow, whatever the case, and try to see what we can get figured out. And if the original buyer has been in contact and says, I can still do it, don't write me off just yet, oops, I shouldn't have said I'm backing out, I can actually do it, then great, let's do it. Because if he does the closing as he said here in a week, then I should have access to the funds from that closing before my deadline at the apartment, which is in like 5 more days after that. So hopefully the wire transfer doesn't take more than that amount of time, because I would have to immediately put money on my account with the apartment within like 4 days. So worst case scenario, there's a 2-3 hour window where I can't do it, my time runs out, and I have to reapply for that same unit, and it should be available, and I guess wait for the application process again, and then go from there again. And this time around I'll actually have the moolah. But there's also a chance that the property will not sell by then. Just not having the definitive answers right now. And because, like I've explained this whole time, I keep a constant inventory in my brainstem of all the options from start to finish. Those options change. Those options also change in order of likelihood. So that process is stressful, trying to keep all that going, and yeah, keep all that information in the old freaking think tank. It's driving me nuts. So all I can do is one day at a time and try to, I don't want to stop thinking about it, because the idea of not thinking about it no more sounds good, because I think way too much about everything. Overanalyze the shit out of everything, which is probably good in my case, because I have to be very careful about what move we make next. I just can't wait to be done. I just can't wait to go on and film better stuff. And I'll never want to talk about this again. So quit bringing it up. But for now, we are in a new phase as of this morning. The phase of where the hell do I live in the next 10 days? The phase of will this sale ever actually happen? And as of this moment, my thinking is just let the property sell, whether it takes 5 more days, 10 more days, 20 more days. And in the meantime, to save money, live in a van down by the river. Because I have to make sure when the property does sell, I can clear the amount needed to get this apartment up front. Basically, the whole thing. The whole year needs to be paid for up front. Here's one thing she did say. There is much higher rates, but those are for shorter leases. So, okay, what are we talking here? Can I do a 6-month lease and pay for that up front and then go from there, month to month, at hopefully a much more fair price, or sign another lease from that point, a longer term lease for less, and pay for that every month? But that's like thinking 2 chapters ahead. I still have to figure out how this chapter is going to conclude. And if you haven't noticed, it's making me batty in the brain. We'll see. But these might be some sleepy motel videos for the next couple days. They really might be. If I have any time, I'll try to find something cool on my computer to make into an episode instead. Maybe it's time to throw up another random episode, another random video, which is just me telling a bunch of inappropriate jokes, preferably on the shitter.
Much for holding on the line. This is Max on the recorded line. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Jim, other than the fact that I'm living in a roach coach right now until I can get my apartment.
Really?
Yeah.
How old are you? What's your age right now?
Oh, I'm 71 years young, sweetheart.
And you make your own decisions by yourself?
Unfortunately, yes. I've fucked my life up pretty good recently, yes.
I'm sorry?
I said, unfortunately, yes. I have made my own decisions lately, and I've fucked my life up pretty good. If my house sells, I'll be able to get this apartment.
And you're in the state of Ohio. What's your zip code?
Nope, I'm in the beautiful state of Kentucky there.
Okay, what's your zip code?
My zip code is fuck you up the ass because you're a scamming piece of monkey shit. Shit. Oh shit, he hung up. Okay, I will try really hard to stop talking about all the stuff on my mind because it kind of runs in a loop. It's just like status report, current status. And then below that, options, potential changes that are coming. And then off to the side of those potential changes, what the new status will be if that happens. And what I would do as a result of those changes. I didn't think I could walk through here because I thought there was a crick. But I think I'm good to go. I'm trying to cross over into the dollar store territory, but I don't want to walk all the way around. But the thickets are rough back here, my friends. I probably look like a crazy person, but that's okay. I'm kind of accustomed to that. Oh, we made it. Good score. Good call. Yeah, I'm going to walk over to the dollar store here and purchase a notebook. Out of all the things I own, all of my notebooks are in storage, and I have no idea where in storage they are. Nor would I take the time to find them, dig them all out. Yeah. Isn't that cute? I am on financial probation. My housing is up in the air, but I'm still going to waste money on a notebook because I need to start writing stuff down. I need to write down a budget, a brand new adjusted budget to figure out how long I can stay at the good old motel versus if I should just live in my fucking van. So, yeah. Stress to the max. And on top of that, I got to get ready to go for work here in a couple hours. So, that ought to be shitty. Stay tuned. And when I say financial probation, I mean financial probation. Hopefully, within a decent time frame, my property will actually sell with enough walking cash. I can go ahead and get my keys, potentially a few days early. Then I can resume a budget and somewhat of an understanding of what I can spend day to day. But when I say financial probation for now, I mean it to the max. Not knowing what's coming next, not knowing what to expect. I am not spending a dime. This notebook I'm about to buy in order to write down my budget and appointments and dates, because I've been scribbling everything on the back of like mail and stuff, and I literally looked throughout my crap in the room and I don't have any more stuff to write on. So isn't that sad? I have tons of notebooks and crap somewhere locked away in my long-term storage, but I never thought I would need all that because everything's kind of like email. But I need to map out my budget and whatnot. That needs to happen. So yeah, it's a little bit different. I guess I could make a thing on my computer, but I want something I can take with me and take notes while I'm talking to certain people in the next couple of days. But what a freaking mess. So when I say financial probation, I mean it to the max. I am not doing shit. You and I are not going anywhere. We're not doing anything. We're doing nothing for as long as we need to. Probably like at least 10 more days. So you might as well just go ahead and check somebody else out for the next couple weeks. Just kidding. I'll do what I can to make you giggle anyhow. The deed is done. The traveling circus is now rich with notebook paper. A $3 investment into the current day bullshit of my life. And you know what? I saved 50 cents and got more paper because this one does not have little folders inside of it like the other one. We're just making all kind of good budget cuts, ain't we? My walk over here from the motel was very pleasant, fun. And that's what I'm looking forward to with my new pad, hopefully, if it ever happens. The ability to take nice, casual springtime walks around, to meander it up with the locals, to ingratiate myself into social circles that I wasn't invited into, and just to take in the nice shops and the sights. Trying to become a fat, lazy, ugly man of leisure. So we'll see, one day at a time, one vague text at a time, one wishy-washy change of plans, whether or not I consent or know about it, at a time. Suspicious man literally wearing pajama pants and a SpongeBob t-shirt cut through many businesses, through some utility easements, and over a creek holding a random notebook. Call the law, he could be up to something. But as I told you a few times, just go by the only for a second rule. You can do whatever you want as long as you're only there for a second.
You?
I'm good, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, actually, this call is about any updates on Medicare. So, do you have Medicare Part A and B?
Did you just take a hit off a really powerful bong? You sound high as fuck. Okay, good chat.
It's so frustrating that my realtor will send me a text that is clear as day English, but then we get on the phone, he's like, oh, well, that's not happening. That's not the case. And I'm like, from now on, just don't text me anymore, Bran. Just send me offers, I'll read them, accept them or not accept them. I was like, look, I have X amount of days to get this apartment. I need the money. Otherwise, I'm just going to move back into my house. So, if this guy that we're screwing around with now ain't going to do it, then forget it. And he goes, well, there's another guy I have who wants to get it for the price that you want. The lowest you can go, basically. So he's probably going to do it. This new guy. And I'm like, but he told me that he wants to do it by like April 11th. I said, I can't wait till April 11th. I'll be moved back into my house by then, making more mortgage payments by then. So never mind. By then, sorry. And I don't want to get him to where he can't make the deal either, because he relies on that income, obviously. He's put time and effort into this somewhat. So, yeah. He didn't have to move out of a house by himself, stay up all night getting it done for a showing that didn't exist. A fairy tale showing that I wasn't allowed to know wasn't actually going to happen. What a fucking joke. What a joke. But with your house completely emptied out, do you move back in? I've already said goodbye to the place. Said I'm done. Remember? Really don't want to go back on that. But so he's like, well, this new guy Let me see if I can get him to agree to close by the 7th. Will I even have the money by then for that apartment? My current thinking, my current next step, like, changes every 5 minutes, as you're probably well aware. Sorry about the wind. But as of right now, it's like I'm gonna figure out a budget for the motel and extend my stay, I guess, in that depressing ass motel room. And in the meantime, if you can get that house sold between now and my death, please do it. And with the money I make, if I can make some, then I will try to get that apartment. Probably not the one I'm trying to get, because that deal might be gone. Another thing is I have that broken lease, as you watched me break not too long ago. So if I have to go down the road and apply for a different place somewhere else, by then that lease could be up front and center on my record saying, yeah, you don't want nothing to do with this guy, trust me. And just like that, through the power of Dougalo Nation magic, it's dark out. And whilst I was at work today, I received some text messages from my realtor again. This individual, my realtor, seems to be writing this show right before your eyes, this episodic drama, this daily show. Well, he said, basically, everything is right back on track. The closing will happen on time. The amount of money we're asking is the same. Everything is right on track, except for one little detail. With an entirely different buyer. As you know, I'm assuming I talked all about it, but it's hard to keep track of what I did not talk about throughout the days, because it all kind of blends together in my brain cells. This mofoer was wanting me to wait longer and blah blah blah, and I said I don't even have housing lined up without this deal going through, so if it's too long, then I basically need to just take it off the market and get back in my home, because I'm gonna need to stop spending money on hotel rooms eventually, buddy, friend. And he's like, well, how long are we talking? I said, I need this to happen long before April 10th, so why don't we make it happen before April 7th? And he said, all right, because he was literally saying this guy wants to close, this new guy wants to close on April 11th. And I said, April 11th is going to be 24 hours past my deadline for this apartment, my friend. And he goes, well, all right, let me see what I can do. And it was like we were watching Saul, because I just thought, let the games begin. How the hell are you going to pull that off? If the guy's not interested in doing business until the 11th. So, time had passed. I complained to you. I looked into my camera and complained, blah, 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 and walked into work pretty fucking depressed, thinking, man, I already said goodbye to my property as a show of good faith. I already bid the land farewell. Gave my spirit permission to not haunt the land after I die. So I can't go back. What the fuck? But I was already making plans in my brain to either let the property go into obscurity, spend the rest of my life in a motel room, since I'll never qualify for an apartment without this deal going down, or do something else. Just trying to think of what to do. Then, at work, I checked my phone, and he said, this new buyer has agreed to get everything going by April 4th. And I said, okay, that will help me out. If we're able to get this done at the price we need it to be done at, then April 4th works. because, yeah, I want to get in my apartment, dude. I want to wash my cherries in my own shower, not that dinky little motel shower where you got to stand in a wastewater reservoir because the drain doesn't work properly. It's all cocked up with freaking who knows how many gel blasters got put down into that thing, or turds or snot bubbles or whatever the fuck people do when they're in a motel room. And the red car guy is still there, by the way, so that motherfucker lives up in that bitch. And I thought I was gonna be his permanent neighbor. But as I told you, he came. He said he said this new seller came through. So I have some documents in my email to sign when I get back to the motel, the Roach Coach Motel. And one is a document that terminates this old deal, I believe, if I read it right. But I haven't actually thoroughly read everything. I just read like the headlines so far, the subject of these emails so far. The other one is an agency disclosure agreement, I guess, and the other one is an offer. So before it even fell out of contract with the old fucker, apparently it can go into contract with a new fucker. I didn't know that was able to happen, but I'm rolling with it. So I go back and forth. If the deal doesn't work out, do I just go to my house, save up money on my own, get an apartment later, or just make my house more enjoyable? Fuck, what the fuck? But a big part of me wants to just never go back to that land, let it get sold, even if it doesn't get sold in the timeline I need it to get sold in, and then after I have the walk-in money from selling that house, then from there try to develop a new plan for getting an apartment. Part of it is I don't want to wait. I got approved for the apartment pending payment in full. So I'm in if I can get this payment in full money ready, by the 10th of April. And I want to stay in. I don't want that to change. I want this. A couple reasons why. One, I broke that lease, and I don't know when that's going to start affecting my leasability. It doesn't seem to have caused a problem this time because it was not that long ago, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe it's just not on there. My potential new lease manager said it may not show up because you may not owe them any money. If they rented your apartment out right away and started a new lease on that unit, then there's a chance that that broken lease might not even affect you because they base it on what you owe. Okay. Well, it didn't affect me this time, but will it affect me later? Will the report go in that I broke that lease? So I guess the idea is maybe since it happened so recently that it's not even on my FAFCO report or whatever the hell she called it. Okay? So I don't want to ruin this chance because I'm in so far. I want to stay in. If someone says yes, then go with it before they change their mind. That's the mentality here. It's all in the art of the deal, baby. So I'm trying to make this happen. So that was good news, but with this realtor of mine, no news is news until the deal is done. How many times have you seen before your eyes, and I've shared everything, by the way, has this guy said one thing but another thing happened, or set up a meeting that didn't even bother to tell me it was canceled or that it was never real in the first place, or gave me vague answers or completely ignored my availability and just scheduled stuff anyways, hoping I would fall into his line. And I have so far because I want to make this deal happen. Sometimes I think I'm the only one who wants to make it fully happen the way I want to make it happen. So he got, I guess, rocking and rolling on this thing with this new buyer, and that might have had something to do with the fact that I was threatening to just take it off the market and move back into my house. So it is a possibility he was seeing his commission drive off into the sunset. And I'm glad so far. I didn't want this to be delayed, but technically it's not going to be delayed now. Actually, it is. As you saw, the closing for both parties, the seller and the buyer, seller being me, the buyer being whoever the fuck that guy was. By the way, I get to keep his $5,000 free and clear because it was a non-refundable deposit. The deal was supposed to happen yesterday, as you saw in these videos. You saw me go there. You saw me go to that office. Blah, blah, blah. You also saw me say, I don't ever want to be back here. But there's a good chance I will be back at that same office to do this again. But anyways, that's when the deal was supposed to be done on both sides. And it wasn't. The guy backed out, and then my realtor said the guy stopped talking to him altogether. So, all right, whatever, dude. No big deal. It happens. Just wish it wouldn't have happened. In my case, with how I set this up poorly, because I kind of crunched everything together and tried to make it happen all at once. One deal relied on another deal, and it just created stress for me. Next time I go about getting an apartment or buying or selling land, I'm going to go about it entirely differently. So you have witnessed with your eyes my learning curve. But anyways, this deal was supposed to happen on both sides yesterday, and it didn't. So it has been delayed. It's been delayed like well over a week now, which basically means, little did I know at the time, I would have had that much longer to move out. I wouldn't have had to take a day off work, a precious day off work that I don't get back for several months, that I could have waited until I had an emergency. See what I mean? When you're old, you get a little bit more responsible over the years. You get tired of your life being in chaos by making bad choices. Anyways, that happened. So, yeah. Wish me luck. As it stands right now, we are fully back on track, except for one little detail. An all-new buyer. He did give me a closing date, and I told him it needs to happen in the morning because I can no longer take days off work to be the only responsible person in this whole situation. I don't have that luxury anymore. If I had another day to take, I would, just in case they want to do the signing of all the documents later on in the afternoon. But I no longer have that option, just like I'm no longer going to have the option to accept new offers well past April 10th. I might just want my house back at that point and reassess from there. Or I might just say, screw it. Stay at the motel until the property sells. Take the lump sum of money that I'll have, and then at that point try again for the apartment deal. Even if I get screwed up, at least I'll save that money, keep it just for that, figure out what I need to do to knock off whatever bad things screwing up my application progress. But as of right now, I don't have to worry about it. As of right now, I'm in, and the deal is back on track, except for with a new mofoer. For some reason, I think I've been saying with an all-new buyer, or rather an all-new seller, and what I should have been saying is with an all-new buyer. So the deal's back on track, except for one little detail, an all-new buyer. I don't know if I said that wrong or not, but after I stopped recording, I'm like, I think I've been saying an all-new seller. I'm the seller. The deal's back on track in the exact time frame we originally set up. At least the second plan, the second closing is back on track, except for one little thing, an all-new buyer, an all-new purchaser. So yeah, there you go. That's that. Edit. If. And I don't even know if I said it wrong, but I was like, I think I've been saying that wrong. So just in case I was, there you go. There you go. There's no place like home. There's me in the mirror. Look how fat I am these days. Wait a minute. I'll do this. Guess what time it is? It's time to sign all those documents for this new potential buyer. Okay. So the other day, when you and I went to Panda Express, I did receive a fortune in my fortune cookie, and I was hoping that it was a good sign, so I kept it, and here is what it said. You will soon gain something you have always wanted. I don't know why that won't focus, but I think you can kind of tell what it says. You will soon gain something you have always wanted. Well, I have not always wanted this particular apartment. But damn, I hope that's what that fortune is talking about. Okay, so, been sitting here at the old motel desk for a couple minutes. Been eating a little chicken and mac. Drinking my Summit Cola, baby.
Summit Cola.
Been working on little video content stuff here on the old Peter. And also, friends, family, strangers. If you'd like to know an update on this story that some of us have found interesting, then here it is. While at work, also, not only did I have that exchange with my realtor, but I also received an email saying that my lease is now ready for signing, and my move-in date is on there, which is full and clear of when I will have my funds. If this buyer comes through, this new buyer. Speaking of that, also right here in my email, I have a agency disclosure statement I need to sign. I have a residential purchase contract that I need to sign. I think that's an offer. That's me accepting their offer. I'm unaware of that. I'm unaware of this potential buyer having ever even seen the property, but you saw with your eyes, I left the place, left the door unlocked, and my plantar fasciitis just did a little pop in my foot. Oh, it's starting to flare up right now. Oh, it hurts so bad. I can't even describe it. Okay. Normally when it does that, it comes and goes for like 15 minutes. Oh, man. I just kind of like squeeze my heel. I don't know if that helps or not. Let me just rub the bottom of my foot. Oh, shit. The third one is the seller's notice of termination of the contract. That's the other guy. The other guy that we're fucking telling to eat shit. Because he didn't respond at all to my realtor's messages or nothing today. So I'm going to get these signed. I'm going to peruse them a little bit and sign them away. And then probably call it a night. Not a bad way to end the day. This situation, this process has been, and it was supposed to be like this. Woo! All right, that's awesome. But instead, it was like, and at the end of it, you're hopefully okay. Like if you survive, if the deal works, then I'll be like, whew. But we're not off of the roller coaster yet. I don't know if the track even goes back to the station yet. You know what I'm saying? But right now, we're having fun. This particular minute in time. But as you already seen with your eyes, that tends to change here and there and yonder. So, wish me luck on the stabbing pain through my heel. And wish me luck on the stabbing pain through my brain, which has been this fucking real estate shit. I mean, this darn real estate stuff is what I meant to say. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to say profane languages on this Christian video. I'm tired, guys. This old fat hairy man's going to turn in for the night. You want to watch me sleep? All right. Just kidding. I'll let you go play. But in any event, thank you sincerely, sweetly, and neatly for spending a little chunk of your precious non-renewable time with me today. We've done a couple things today. Wasn't sure if anything would happen today, but much like this saga, the twists and turns happen near daily. You do realize that when I decided to do a daily episode, daily video, I had no idea at the time it would turn into a full-on mishigosh of my life. This is just one of the few times in my life where I have transitioned from one chapter to the next, one major change to the next. But this particular one happens to be completely documented right here on Duggalo Nation. If you're not sure what the fuck I'm talking about, that's because you haven't seen my previous videos over the last, basically since late January, I guess. Whenever I think I started doing the daily episode, I forget. The first one was, there's something we need to talk about. I wanted to say early February, but it might have been late January. Something happened late January, I thought. But anyways, I really do appreciate it that you're here and checking this twists and turns out with me. You know, sometimes we just wander down to the store and buy a notepad together. Sometimes I'm working and I get a great announcement, or at least a great idea, a great direction that we're headed from my realtor. And then I have to wait and tell you about it when I leave work. But it's still okay. At least you don't have to wait, right? You get all your nuggets fed to you in one nice shot, one nice cachet of a video. But anyways, I'm about to start sleep rambling. I can feel it coming. Look, if you want to contact me directly, okay, then email me, DuggaloNation@gmail.com. If you want to help me out, do it, because a growing audience would be the best thing for me right now as far as helping me out in the long run. Here's what you can do. You can share this video, or perhaps a video that doesn't suck, with all your dumb buddies. That's one of my videos, for real. Not like a copied one from some other asshole's account. This asshole's account is the only asshole I want you sharing his shit. Alright? But yes, with that said, it is time to piss on this fire, pack up this camp, and head back to the motel room. Don't worry though, I'll be back with you again, like always, 7 days a week, every single day, right here, right now, again. I'll be with you at 7 a.m. Eastern every day. Did I say that the proper way? I feel like I said that in about 8 different ways on repeat, but in slightly different wordage. So, yeah, you get me. But until I do see you again right here tomorrow morning at 7 as usual, don't be a sleepyhead. I mean, don't be a douche.